I want to go over this story because this is going to be big, okay? And here's what happens. Now, let me explain this. Let me explain this, Lucy. And I don't know how much argument I'm going to get, but you have constitutional, all of your counties right now, okay, have either passed a budget, okay, or passed a continuing spending resolution. The law says they cannot spend money in 2018 without a budget or a continuing spending resolution. A continuing spending resolution means that they can only spend money at the rate they spent it the previous year. I experienced that in Gilmer County probably about 6 years ago. Gilmer County could not complete their budget. And in December, late December, it's about 6 years ago, Gilmer County had to pass a continuing spending resolution so they could operate in January. You cannot go into the next year. And then late in January, they completed their budget and passed it. There could be some things hold the budget up, all right? So right now, you should be living in one of the 159 counties in Georgia that your county has passed a budget, or your city. Same applies for your city, but has passed a budget. Now, it's different for a city because cities do not have constitutional officers. Let's just break this down, okay? So why does this not happen in the city of LJ? Why does this not happen in the city of Blue Ridge? Why does this not happen in the city of Dawsonville? Because in a city, your fire and rescue is a department, okay? I'm just going to clear these things up so we'll move right along, but that's a department. The police is a department of the incorporated city. So a city passes a budget. A chief of police can come in and decide they want $1 million to spend this year, and the city could say, no, you're getting 800, and it's the end of the story. That's what you got to work with, okay? So that's why you don't hear it in the city. But in the county, you have constitutional officers. What is that? Okay? Now, you have the constitutional officers, meaning they have to uphold the Constitution of the state of Georgia, along with the Constitution period, but constitutional offices, okay? So in your county, you have your Board of Commissioners, and I'll just break this down slowly, okay, so we can get to where we're at. You have your Board of Commissioners, and however your government structure is, you may have a single commissioner, sole commissioner in your county, which I think there's only 5 counties out of 159 that still have a sole commissioner structure. 2 of those in North Georgia, 1 Towns County and 1 Union County, are sole commissioners, okay? And they are, period, end all. They make the decision, you voted, you decided that's what you want, and they're the sole commissioner, they make the decision. But it does not change that they still have to pass a budget. So you may have a commission, 3-person commission, okay? And in the 3-person commission, you may have a chairman. You may have a 5-person commission. You may have a county manager. But the one thing that does not change is the commission, sole or commission, has to pass a budget by the Georgia Constitution. They're required. Georgia Constitution says every county has to pass a budget. Now you come along in that budget. Why is it all under the county commission office? Because the county commission office, by the Constitution of the state of Georgia, is the only office that can levy a tax, not collect a tax, levy a tax. Not even your Board of Education, which that's another thing that is way out of line, okay? But your Board of Education cannot even levy a tax. Now, they make a decision of the millage rate of tax they want, but your Board of Education cannot levy. There's only one place, according to the Constitution in the state of Georgia, besides cities, incorporated cities, I'm not including them, that can levy a tax. That's your commission, okay? Period. So your commission has to take the M&O operating budget, what it's going to cost to operate. They have to set it, and then they have to tax according to pay for the operations of your county, okay? Your county, I mean, okay? So that's pretty simple. So your constitutional officers, you have your clerk of court, okay? I'm breaking this down for a reason. You have your clerk of court. You have your probate judge. It's a little different, but it's a county probate. You have your magistrate judge. You have your sheriff, okay? You have your tax commissioner. You have several offices that the citizens of the county vote for. They're not departments. They're not departments. The sheriff is an office, not a department. The clerk of courts is an office, not a department. Okay? The tax commissioner, it's an office, not a department. So they have to take what they think it's going to cost to operate their office, not a department, to the commissioners and say, this is what we need in the budget. Now, the commissioners have to compile everything in the county, and then they have to tax accordingly you to pay for that budget. Now, all that being said, okay, here's where it comes in. The state requires different offices to maintain their office at a certain level. There's requirements. So when you go into the sheriff's office, there's a whole list of things that are required by the state of Georgia to operate. There's a whole list of things required by the state of Georgia to operate the tax commissioner's office. So on with the clerk of court, so on. Okay? So the sheriff is supposed to put together, we're going to go with sheriff because this is the one that's contentious right now, a budget to operate their office efficiently and to meet all the requirements necessary to operate that office. And then they bring that to the commissioners. They may need 6 new cars this year. They may say, I need 6 cars to operate the office. That may be part of what they think they need to operate that office. You understand, the constitutional officers have the right to say that this is the budget I need to operate the office. Okay? Then it's the commissioner's place to say, are you sure you can't operate the office and meet all the requirements and provide the services to the citizens of the county for a little less? And that's when the negotiation starts. Now I will just tell you from past history, even recent history, that you could read fetchernews.com. And you can read fetchernews.com, and you can go to Gilmer County and click on news at the top, and go through all of the articles of the budget hearings. You can watch the videos if you want to learn more about this. You can watch all the videos that are posted, okay, of the budget hearings in Gilmer County. We did video those. You can watch the budget hearings in Fannin County. We did do those, to get an idea of what I'm talking about. So although it got a little contentious with the commissioners, Charlie Parrish, Travis Crouch, and Dallas Miller in Gilmer, and the Sheriff Stacy Nicholson, it did get contentious. And there was 3 public meetings where they sit down and there was a back and forth on it. They did come to terms of what the commissioner said they can live with and what the sheriff said they can live with, and the budget is passed. But it didn't happen like that in Dawson. So if you feel as a constitutional officer that your commissioners, this is something you want to pay attention to. This should be one of the biggest stories in the state, okay? If you feel that your commissioners are not allowing you enough money to operate your office efficiently, according to the state of Georgia, what do? You have the right to take your county to court. That's right. You can take the county to court. And the sheriff in Dawson County has chose to do that. Now, I'm going to read this here, okay? But Jeff Johnson, and let's go back. Jeff Johnson is the sheriff of Dawson County. He comes in, and I'm pretty sure this is his first budget. I'm pretty sure this is his first budget. A new sheriff in town. Billy Carlisle was the sheriff for years. Okay? But Johnson wants a bigger budget. And Johnson and the commissioners, Sheriff Johnson and the commissioners in Dawson County cannot come to terms. Johnson's taking them to court. The dispute between Dawson County, now you can read this article on fetchyournews.com, Dawson County, okay? Go to Dawson County, you can read this article, and you can follow it. Just go to news or click on Bill Johnson, our writer there, and there's several articles about this subject. All the way down from the meetings they had. Every one, Bill has this. The dispute between Dawson County Sheriff Jeff Johnson and the Board of Commissioners over 2018 budget will move to Senior Superior Court Judge Fred A. Bishop's courtroom Friday, January 12th at 9:30 a.m. This is going to Superior Court at 9:30 January 12th, a week from Friday, 9:30 in the morning. On December 18th, Bishop ordered County Commissioner to appear before him to show cause why Johnson's petition for mandamus should not be issued as requested, and such other relief be granted as the facts of the case may warrant. Johnson filed a petition for mandamus claiming the $8,273,080 budget approved by the commissioners for 2018 is inadequate for him to perform the duties of his office. Johnson requested a budget be set at $8,961,406. So Johnson wanted, see, you got to watch. He claims it's inadequate for him to perform his duties in his office. So if a constitutional officer in your county says that the budget's inadequate, now I don't know that it is, but $8,273,000 is what the commissioner said he could have, and he wants $8,961,406. Commissioners argue the budget represents a one-year increase cost to $1 million is the largest increase awarded at any county office in 2018. In fact, figures released by the Dawson County show that Sheriff's Office budget has increased by $2.3 million since 2014. This is in Dawson County, $2.3 million since 2014. It's only 2018. County Manager David Headley, said the sheriff's budget grew by $525,381 in 2015, $348,648 in 2016, $457,632 in 2017, and $985,217 in 2018. So they want $1 million. They want an increase of $981. You have to understand the $8,961,000 what the sheriff wants, $406. They approved $8,961,406. They approved $8,273,080. But the actual increase that was asked for this year by Sheriff Johnson was $985,277. He wanted $1 million increase this year, okay? Not to count all the other increases. Moreover, the Georgia Department of Community Affairs survey reveals that Dawson County citizens pay more per capita to operate the sheriff's office in jail than any other county in North Georgia. They pay more. The survey of 26 counties showed Dawson County citizens pay $273 each, followed by Raven County at $210. Several county offices have complained the sheriffs waste taxpayers' dollars by not following the county's purchasing policy of awarding bids to the lowest, most competent and qualified bidders. Headley, this is the county manager, Headley said the county has repeatedly reached out to the sheriff to offer assistance in matters such as human resources, finance, and purchasing, and grants and maintenance. This is a quote. We have a well-trained staff and policies in place which can help with compliance with the law of doing things in the most efficient and economic way. Hensley said, our offers have frequently been ignored or declined. Serious tension in this. Serious tension. Going to court. Jeff Johnson, the sheriff of Dawson County, is going to court because he wants $1 million increase. You got to understand, the county said no. They've drawn the line. Now, what happens here, and I'm not going to pull out any names because Bill Johnson can give those names, but other county offices in Dawson County are saying we can't get any extra help financially, but the sheriff's office has gone up $2.3 million since 2014. And in 2018, Jeff Johnson, the sheriff, is asking for $985,000, $985,277, $1 million increase. So this goes to court Friday after next. This is going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big deal. I promise you. This should be the top story in the state because let me tell you something. If the commissioners win, some of their power returns with trying to cut budgets, okay? If the commissioners lose, they lose their power in trying to hold budgets intact. So I'm not going against the commissioners, not going against the sheriff. I'm just going to tell you this. Bottom line is, who does it reflect? Okay, I'm not going against the commissioners, not going against the sheriff. You, the taxpayer, pays the bill. You see, the thing that gets left out, not that Bill left this out, is they never really focus on the $985,277 increase. Comes out of your pocket. Folks, you can't keep pulling out of your pocket much longer in America. So we'll see Friday after next. We're going to see Friday after next what happens here. That's a big deal. I'll tell you, a big, big deal. Go to fetchyournews.com, Dawson County, okay, and click on news. When you get to Dawson County, click on news. When you click on news, okay, walking you through this, it's that simple. You're going to see Bill Johnson, okay. You're going to see sheriff lawsuit against the county heads to court. When you click on that, I'll tell you a little bit how it works. You'll see the URL up top. And you'll see Bill Johnson by Bill Johnson. If you will click on Bill Johnson's name, you will find every article. In fact, Sam, let's do this. I know Bill's busy over there, but let's get with him and find out every article that's related to this because I'm going to push it for the next couple of weeks and get that URL in this last one, okay? Because this is a big deal. We're going to work on that because you do want to read the history of this. This is a big story. Should be a statewide story that's going to be handled. So I hope I covered that pretty clear. But keep in mind, the argument is, now it's up to you to decide here. It'll be up to a judge. But the argument is, now, you know what's not in this? The cost of going to court's not in this, okay? And taking your county to court. But you need to decide in Dawson County if $2.3 million since 2014 increase has gone up is enough to operate your sheriff's office, or are you okay with the $985,000? Because you got to remember, he says it is inadequate for him to perform his duties of his office. And that's why I told you earlier, a constitutional officer can say, by the state of Georgia's Constitution of the state of Georgia says that a constitutional officer can claim the funds the commissioners put together in a budget are inadequate to operate the office, and they do have a right to sue. This one's going to be big. Take us a break, Sam.